I'm Professor Dr. Khaliq Ahmad, Dean of the IIIBF, which is stand for International Institute of Islamic Banking and Finance in Malaysia. This is part of the International Islamic University Malaysia. We only offer two courses. Number one, MSc in Islamic Banking and Finance, second doctorate degree in Finance. Alhamdulillah, this was the opportunity to come to CEIF, which is Center of Excellence in Islamic Finance, to share knowledge with the audience who come from varieties of the background. There are different stakeholders, such as those who are coming from the regulator side. They are employees of the State Bank of Pakistan. We also have the bankers. We also have academics. We do have also some Sharia scholars. So it was a mixed group of audience, and Alhamdulillah, it helped a lot. Basically, the whole program was divided among 6-7 sessions, 4 sessions per day. The first session was basically talking about basics, fundamentals of Islamic marketing, followed by second, third and fourth session. But overall, the first day was basically focused that how the creation of the demand and representing the customer side, the customer's behavior, the customer's lifestyles, and how we assess the customers in terms of their expectations. We did also discuss about the marketing strategies, marketing planning that need to be looked at if we want to fulfill the expectations of the market. Of course, Islamic marketing is not meant necessarily for the Muslims. Same is the Islamic banking and finance. It's also meant for people who are not necessarily Muslims. This is not meant to teach them Islam. This is not meant to teach them the religion. This is not meant to convert them to Islam. It is basically more to introduce an alternative system to the already prevalent system coming from the Anglo-Saxon societies, which has their own value system. We are nothing against to them, but it fits to them. Our system is more suitable for our needs, our socialization process that we have, and the one we understand better. Because we are Muslim, Sharia compliant is a must for all kind of products that as a consumer or as a users that we use it. So if the product is not halal, product is against the Sharia, product is not fulfilling the dietary requirement which has been specified by the Sharia, by the Islam, by the Muslim jurists, by the scholars, then being a Muslim is a big compromise for us to fulfill our religious obligations and our commitment to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the focus first day was basically to look on the one of the dynamics of the market, that's demand and consumption function. It talks more about the client side, the customer side, about the market expectations, market segmentations, market niche, which suits to the people's lifestyle. Islam, yes, it has a general guidelines, Sharia guidelines, but there are a lot of things which Muslims get influenced with their local values, with local norms, with local do's and don'ts. So it's not necessarily that everything must be dictated by the Sharia. Sharia fulfills few requirements, but there are more than Sharia, which are more social norms and social values, the local attributes, local choices, local taste, local languages. So all these things are necessary for us to understand. So the first day, actually, we try to make use of the existing marketing knowledge, which naturally come from the conventional marketing. We use the ANSOF model of developing the marketing strategies. For example, market penetration, market development, product development, diversification strategies to make ourselves competitive. Alhamdulillah, we give some exercises. Many of our participants, they participated, and they give a lot of rich inputs into the case of Pakistan and in the case of the Pakistani lifestyle, Pakistani customers, and Pakistan economic conditions. So these were what we did yesterday. And at the end of the day, there were some assignments to take home, to think over it, that how the Pakistan market and Pakistan customers profiles are different from perhaps the rest of the other Muslim majority countries, because Muslims are either in a minority, where they are as a minority group, but majority are non-Muslims. There are different challenges. But there are Muslim majority countries where majority of the citizens of the society, they are Muslims. Pakistan is one of them, besides many other countries. So certainly the rules, policy matters, they are not any big issue, because government actually facilitate being democratic country, and they have to take care of their clientele, they have their base, and to be politically correct, the vote banks, because majority of the Muslim, their religion is Islam, and they would like to have the Islamic way of life. So we need that to be addressed. And Alhamdulillah, we did it yesterday, and participants took note, and they went home. They thought over the many dynamics of the market and ecosystem that we call it. And Alhamdulillah, today morning when we met with the clear objectives and clear expectations coming from the market. Then comes second day, which is basically today. We talked about the supply side of the market. As we know, supply side basically is controlled by the producers, controlled by the supply chain management, controlled by the vendors, controlled by the varieties of the types of the producers. So today we discuss more from the supply side. When we discuss from supply side, usually we take into consideration of the 4-5 elements which are called marketing mix. For example, the products and services, distribution, promotional strategies, and finally price determinations. So Alhamdulillah, in the morning we discussed about the product. According to the Islam, the products are meant to fulfill 3 types of demands of the Muslim. First one called the Rudiya. So the Rudiya, the one which we don't fulfill, is considered Darar. So these are basic needs of the food, drinks, security, the roof on the head, and whatnot, without which life is very difficult and subject to exposed to so many health hazards, so many risks. So all these things basically come under the category of the Daruriyat. They are basic needs which almost is across the every sections of the society. Then second thing is Hajiyat. Yes, Hajiyat are equally important, but it's not something that we can't live without it. So we need also Hajiyat to be fulfilled by the products and services that we produce. And the third category is Ihsaniyat, which is basically only the rich group of the maybe only 5-10%, in some cases maybe only 2-3% people from the society would be able to afford, which is more towards the luxurious life. Islam does not stop people from making use of some expensive items, luxurious life, if Allah has given them opportunity to afford to do that. but it's not meant for the masses. It is meant for the exclusive class of people who have more source of income and they can bear with expenses that come along with fulfilling the luxurious life. Alhamdulillah, after discussion, then we have to go to Islamic marketing side. These products must be halal certified. It should not have any contamination of haram elements, anything which is subject to intoxication, which is also safe for the use, does not have any threat to the users in terms of their organs of the body and in terms of their safety, in terms of their health, in terms of here comes maqasid sharia that is important for all of us to look at. Then comes about this product to be distributed, these services to be distributed, because products distribution is easier than services. Islamic banking and finance, for example, is a service industry. Its exports, imports would be very challenging compared to exporting and importing the products because it is intangible in nature. So here comes the challenge with distribution. Then how do we promote? Promotion is equally important. If we do not promote properly, carefully, with the good strategies of promotion, whether we go for push effects or we go for pull effects, we have to well thought of idea of our marketing communications. And finally comes very tough decision to be made. How do we fix the price for the products and services that we offer to the market? There must be a lot of ethical issues because price is very crucial for both. For the customers because they are going to pay their hard-earned money and savings to buy the products and services. But on the other side is also issue of survival for the companies that they do not charge the reasonable prices for the products. So these are the important issues and we discussed, and Alhamdulillah there was a group discussion. Many of them discuss about Islamic banking and finance product, how do we price it, what are the considerations. This happened on the background of the normal complaint coming from the market that Islamic banking finance products are very expensive, it's very complicated, there's no much difference about conventional and Islamic. So all these are the myths that need to be addressed by the scholars and ulama, that no, is a different product, Sharia compliant, and this is must because Allah says if somebody is going to do any transaction based on riba and interest, Allah's wrath is there. So we don't want our Almighty Allah to be annoyed with us or be angry with us. So pricing decision has to be very, very crucial. It involves the cost, it involves the competition in the markets, it also involves the ability of the customers to pay. Alhamdulillah, these 2 days courses were very happy. Marketing mix, actually, this is the knowledge of the subject matter experts, that when we offer people in terms of the money that we receive, people look value for money. So when they look for value for money, the value is not simply the product that we exchange to them. The value comes with a package, and that package is called marketing mix. And of course, there is no much difference when it comes to marketing mix. Understanding from Islamic perspective or conventional perspective, 4 P's: product, price, promotion, distribution, people, and last time we used to call 4, now they call 6, 7 P's. The issue here is within the package there are vast differences. For example, if conventional marketing, they don't care whether product is halal, it is certified by some halal certifying agencies or not. Does product fulfill the Sharia requirements or not? Is product harmful to the users or not? So here comes so certain categories of the product is certainly out of the reach when we talk about Islamic marketing. We cannot allow the people to do gambling, we cannot allow the people to be intoxicated, we do not want the people to be taking things which are prohibited by Sharia. Similarly, the price, massive for example. Yeah, that's very Islamic concept in the way that people should not be exploited. A gharar, for example, which is the risk. that comes along with. Then also deception. Today a lot of sales and excessive salesmanship brings a lot of deception inside. Islam doesn't endorse all those things. So here, within the mix, perhaps Islamic marketing and conventional marketing is no issue. What's important is the devils or details. Actually, the brand is very important, and the brand power matters a lot in the business. If you got a brand which is worldwide acceptable, itself is a millions dollars worth of value, because brand sells, not the product. So for that purpose, we have to build the brand personality. Brand personality eventually will come from the brand equity. Brand equity have a model. There are 4 or 5 elements which are called attributes of the brand equity, like customers' loyalty, the awareness created about the brand, then the repeat sales, and then at the end of the day, people's satisfaction. So the brand matters. Now to establish the brand, there are varieties of these strategies. One of them is using the celebrities. Conventional market, of course, they will use something which would be very questionable from Islamic point of view. For example, they want to promote a product used by male, they will use always the woman, a female, opposite gender, to attract the attention. Islam doesn't allow that. Islam will rather be happy that why don't we use the religious personalities and celebrities? There are a lot of religious scholars in the world. They are well known, well established. The only thing is they are a little media shy. So we bring them to the mainstream. They become our brand ambassadors. And the masses, especially in countries like Pakistan, people follow the scholars. People follow the scholars' views. People listen to them. What best is them to be a brand ambassador for certain Islamic banking and finance products. So to me, brand is important, but the way conventional marketing is promoting the brand equity, brand personality, certainly Islam does not agree 100% with the way they do it. So 2-3 things. Number one, we minus the sexual exploitations. Islam doesn't stand for any exploitative practices. Second, a lot of musics which are very questionable by our scholars and ulama, and that actually again exploit the Y generation and millennials. So we have to refrain from that. But light music, etc., again, this is something some scholars will agree, some may not agree with that. But yes, we can make use of it. Use of the lights to attract the attention, use of the contrast to portray the brand image. These are the ways that we can build up the brand personality and eventually the brand equity. It takes time. What's important is when the people use and buy some brand, they have the trust in the brand, that it will sooner or later must be able to fulfill their expectations. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, sir.
I'm very thankful to IIBA and most importantly my counterpart from International Institute of Islamic Banking Finance here, because CEIF, Center of Excellence in Islamic Finance, for inviting me and giving this opportunity to be here for 2 days. Thank you, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.